A $52 million lottery winner from Coral Springs has big plans for his winnings. He's going to use some of the money to give an historic part of Fort Lauderdale a makeover. CBS 4's Joe Murray talked to him about why he's doing it.
No system was known for music, food, and a lot of other experiences that are long forgotten, and I think I would like to jumpstart that.
Miguel Pilgrim is on a mission to breathe new life into Sisktrunk Blvd, the oldest African-American community in Fort Lauderdale.
I believe that preparation and opportunity equal being fortunate.
Pilgrim's fortunes changed 7 years ago when he won $52 million in the Florida lottery and decided to invest here. He's turning this vacant building into a restaurant and blues club. Across the street, next to the Mizell Center under renovation, he'll build a complex of retail, lofts, and a performing arts center.
It's very similar to Memphis, where I'm from, Bill Street, and I saw what that turned into once people decided to invest in the community. So that definitely, since I was working down here, I'd driven through the area many, many times, and I was like, wow, this reminds me of home in many, many ways.
This was Sisktrunk 50 years ago, a busy, vibrant boulevard. Business left, and the turnaround has been slow. While there's a grocery store and plaza, many buildings remain boarded up. Pilgrim says there have been obstacles.
The biggest issue that you face with a restaurant or any project is understanding the vision and staying the course.
I think that it's sad that somebody from another state had to come down here to Fort Lauderdale and put money into our community.
I think it would be good for the community, especially for the kids, to have something positive to do, so they're not, out running around with no parental supervision.
Pilgrim's plans are still 1 to 3 years away from reality, but he's in it for the long haul, determined to change his winnings into a lasting legacy. In Fort Lauderdale, Joan Murray, CBS 4 News.
All right, you guys see the difference with this Powerball lottery winner. All right, she made headlines. This woman from North Carolina, Marie Holmes, won $188 million. I'm not sure if that's before or after taxes. Probably before taxes. But anyway, she won a total of $188 million. And her vision was to give back to her church. Okay, her church, which is pastored by a suspected white supremacist, and the result was that the pastor sued her for $700,000. So this is the difference between when you have a person that inherits a lot of money and lottery winners. You know, me personally, and this is a sidebar, you know, I don't believe in the lottery. I don't play the lottery. I've never played the lottery in my life. I believe in being self-sufficient and self-made, and I'm continuing to do so, but that's besides the point. But anyway, she won her Powerball winnings, and she donated a lot of money to her church. Again, pastored by a suspected white supremacist. And this is the result you have. And also, you know, she's made headlines about giving her money to her boyfriend. This is a woman who, you know, came from poverty, came from a low income area. And it's, you know, it's not really about that. It's about the vision that you have, right? And if you're around a certain area, which is always talk about epigenetics, and that's all you know, that's pretty much all you know. So if all you know is, you know, your boyfriend going in and out of jail, you raising your children in a poverty-stricken environment, and you inherit a lot of money, and all you know is church and your local area, you don't have a vision outside of that, right? And this is the end result when you're dealing with people like Marie Holmes, who don't have, aren't visionary outside of their own community, right? They can't see past what they already know. Okay, now this guy here, Miguel Pilgrim is completely opposite. This guy is from another state, from Memphis, Tennessee, came down to South Florida, won the lottery 7 years ago in 2010. Obviously, he's not broke. He still has his money, and he has a plan. He has a vision to invest in an historically black community that was thriving 50 years ago. It was the Black Wall Street in Fort Lauderdale, as known as Sisktrunk Blvd. You know, Sisktrunk Blvd now is completely owned and controlled by the government and the dominant white society. This guy was to come back and revitalize that and making a booming black economical business, right? An economic base for the communities that are populated by black people in Fort Lauderdale, in Sisktrunk Blvd. And so the woman in the interview said, you know, it took another person from another state to come up with that idea, right? The thing about it is, it's not really about being from another state. It's about having a vision. You know, there's a lot of people with lots of money that can do the same thing, but they don't have the vision to carry this out because they have a myopic view of what they're dealing with. Marie Holmes had a myopic view. That's all she knew was helping her boyfriend out, who was begging to stay in jail, bailing him out constantly, giving money to her white supremacist or suspected white supremacist pastor church, right? Obviously, you know, first thing you want to do is take care of your family. That's a given, of course. You do that. Your mother, whatever. But outside of that, that's it. There's no vision outside of that. And again, it's not for everybody. Not everybody has a vision to take care of their community, help their community. Again, outside of your immediate family, there is no vision for a lot of people who, you know, are, you know, invest in or inherit a lot of money. There is no vision outside of what they know. And it took someone outside of the community who was not from Fort Lauderdale to do that. Because he said in an interview that from his town, Memphis, Tennessee, right, he saw the same thing. Memphis, Tennessee also has a booming, historically black-owned area, thriving with music, food, festivals, and things of that nature. He saw the same thing that could be done in Sisktrunk Blvd, revitalizing that, making sure the black business is thriving, the black dollar circulating in our own communities, and not having these outside forces, the dominant white society, come in, developers come in and make their own shopping centers and apartments and stuff like that. And the dollars are not circulating in our community, right? It's going to, who else? White-owned businesses, right? And Miguel Pilgrim thought differently. So I have to give this guy much props, much respect for doing this. We need more people to think like that. It's not about the money. Once again, it's about the vision. There's a lot of athletes, entertainers that have millions of dollars, but they don't have a vision to revitalize where they come from. They don't have a plan. That's because, you know what, the simple thing is, they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to execute it. This guy does, right? So I have to give this guy much props for doing that. This is a really good look, and you know, I'm kind of doing the same thing on a small scale, on a very small scale. I'm trying to work my way into developing more duplexes in my area and revitalizing those and renting those out to low-income families, things of that nature. So I'm doing mine on a smaller scale, and eventually I'll build up my portfolio up to be kind of like Miguel Pilgrim's in the next 4 or 5 years or so. That's my plan. You know, that's my plan. So, but again, this is a great story. Much props to Miguel Pilgrim. And again, it takes a vision to do this. You got to have a vision, and you got to know how to execute it. A lot of people, they just don't even know how to execute it, let it know have a vision. So this guy has both, and much props to him for doing this. As far as I know, he has a military background, and he's in his early 50s, so he is pretty seasoned when it comes to just life lessons, right? The other woman, Marie Holmes, in her mid 20s or early 20s when she won the lottery. So she, as far as life lessons, she was in her infancy stage and just going through life, period. But and that could be a difference also. But again, it doesn't really matter your age. It's about, when you inherit a lot of money, it's about the vision that you have for yourself. What are you planning to do with the money outside of yourself, right? And again, Miguel Pilgrim has a plan outside of himself, and he's willing to execute his vision, which is great. So much props to him. Love to have this Black Wall Street mentality in other communities that are populated by blacks. I would love to have that, and our black dollar circulate. So this is a great story that we need to have, and I fully support it. So, all right, family. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. All right, let me know what you guys think. Until next time, family. Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.